Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Saturday game day edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com, and Restored Motions, RestoredMotions.com. It is game day. It is LSU versus Bama day. We up in this piece ready to roll. LSU and Alabama tonight, 6 o'clock, Tiger Stadium. Fired up for it. I think the Tigers have a really good chance in the ball game. 2 weeks to prepare. Bama's road struggles. Tigers doing some things that they could give Alabama issues. So let's see it. Game day. I talked about it all week, man. Yesterday was a fun Football Friday, AFR. Really enjoyed the show yesterday. Basically, it was a one-topic day. and enjoyed it. So, all right, y'all fire away. Not much else to say right now. Pels win last night. The Warriors rested everybody. And so the Pels get a win. And Pels rested everybody. I'm sorry, Warriors rested everybody, so Pels get a win. And Game 6 of the World Series tonight as well. It'll be Wheeler against Valdez. So Houston a win away from a World Series title, but that is all ancillary to what's going to happen tonight in Tiger Stadium. So, all right, y'all, fire away. Let's say some good mornings. See what y'all got. Jeremy Sadsley, good morning. Is it wrong for me to want Tennessee to lose? No, I don't think. I mean, I'll watch that game and watch it with keen interest. And I think Tennessee's offense has been unstoppable this year. So, I have a wager on Tennessee. So, I'd like for that to hit. But I'm not going to be heartbroken if Georgia beats Tennessee. And I largely think it's inconsequential for LSU. And you could say, well, Tennessee beat LSU. And that's true. But if LSU goes on and wins out, and they beat Bama tonight, win out, and play an undefeated Georgia in the SEC championship, it's going to be all the same to LSU. So, Mark McCarter, did you call the priest? I totally forgot. No excuses. I just forgot. We talked about having Father Alello on the show yesterday. And I forgot. Nick Ori, good morning. Love the shirt. Yeah, man. My guy, Hunter Tweed over at X Design did those when Joey B won the Heisman. He was kind enough to send me one. I love it. It's a great shirt. Ray Greer, if we win Whiskey and Wine, will be epic. That is true. 2019 Whiskey and Wine, when LSU beat Bama, still resonates. Those are the most fun. After a big win, those are definitely the most fun. Excuse me. Renee Marks, Blake Middleton, East and West decided today. Most likely. Yeah, most likely. Mark McCarter, today's lock of the day. You know what, Mark? I love Clemson today at Notre Dame. I love Clemson laying the 3.5. Phil Steele disagreed with me on that one, for whatever that's worth. So it's not going to be a consensus among sharp bettors, but Clemson has really dominated the series. The only year that Notre Dame beat Clemson since they've been in this ACC rotation was the COVID year, and if you remember, Trevor Lawrence didn't play in that game. So, and that was at Notre Dame Stadium. But Notre Dame's been weak at home this year, man. They lost to Marshall. They lost to Stanford, who's terrible. Cal had them on the ropes. And I'm not so sure that Notre Dame can move the ball against Clemson. So, anyway, so yeah, that's mine today. I love Clemson today. But then again, I blind bet last night, Washington against Oregon State, stayed up till 1 o'clock in the morning watching that game, which is why I'm a little late here this morning. And Washington did everything they could possibly do not to cover. They allowed a pick six right before the end of the first half. On the game-winning drive, they actually had 2 passes from the 2-yard line into the end zone to win by a touchdown, and receivers dropped both balls. They were contested, but receivers couldn't come up with either. And then they ended up kicking a field goal in the last play of the game and winning, so they didn't cover the 4. So anyway, take my advice for what it's worth. But I do like Clemson a lot today. Breezy Bro, hey Dad, good morning. Kelly Gross, Henry Gordon Bennett, morning Matt. Love the atmosphere. Love the atmosphere around here this week. I actually wore a red shirt to my gym and almost got kicked out. Hayden Presley, morning. Thoughts about the score line in the game today after marinating on it for 2 weeks? What do you mean the score line? Like, what do I think the final score is going to be? I picked Alabama 34-24. And I think it's probably a situation where maybe Bama scores late to make it 2 scores. You might be like in a 27-24 game in the fourth quarter and they score late to make it 2 touchdowns. But I would love it if the reverse happened and it was LSU who made the big play late. Shout out to my guy Darren James. Need to sell your home, you need Darren James. All right, YouTube, do me a favor, smash that like button if you would. Cade Kepper, what's up, Cade Kepper? Bill Gallion, Gregory Gordy, Tyler Collins, Brad Johnson, one from Fresno. Okay. Brian Penton's in Pittsburgh. Okay. Antoine White. Cliff Nelson, what's good, man? Clickbait are us. Thank you for the great content. I recently found your channels on LSU and the Saints. It's been great to watch. Thank you. Appreciate that very much. Aaron Fontaine, good morning, Scone and fellow Sconers from Fuquay, Varina, North Carolina. Hope you're doing well. 1-year-old and myself are sick. Got the gumbo going, ready for the game tonight. Awesome. Hope you feel better. Robert Collins, thoughts on our D-line versus Bama O-line. Seems like Bama doesn't have the all-world O-line like they have in the past. That's true. Remember, they actually recruited Tyler Steen, who was a left tackle at Vanderbilt, who LSU recruited as well as a transfer. He's a starting left tackle at Bama this year. Yeah, I mean, you can just look at the pressures and sacks against Bryce Young, this year as evidence of it. But I would also remind you that just because you may not have 3 first-round draft picks on your line this year doesn't mean you're bad. But it's just the Bama standard that they've set. Michael Moore, Chance Babin, love the Hurley commitment. Yeah, if y'all missed it, yesterday LSU did pick up a commitment from a quarterback for the class of 2024, Colin Hurley. So he was actually going to be a class of 2025 commitment, meaning he's currently a high school sophomore, but he's reclassifying, so he will graduate next year after his junior year and be a class of 2024 signee for LSU. So 6'1", 205 as a high school sophomore. I mean, with offers from everybody, yeah, big-time prospect, man. So now you obviously got Ricky Collins for 2023, and now you've got your quarterback for 2024 as well with Colin Hurley. So the questions about if Brian Kelly could recruit here are being answered pretty emphatically. The 2023 class, the current one, is up to 4th in the class rankings, and they've already gotten a good head start on 2024 as well. No saying why would the Warriors rest everybody? Seems like they're just saying games don't matter this early. No, that's actually become something that's been a big point of contention in the NBA as teams try to manage. It's load management and Greg Popovich is the one who started it in San Antonio, and other teams have followed to make sure, especially when they play on back-to-back, so they have long travel. They try to make sure they give their guys days off. So. Gregory Gordy, I know it's off subject. I'm picking Pats over Colts in my survivor pool. What do you think? Yeah, I mean, you get Bill Belichick against Sam Ehlinger. Belichick has made a career flustering and frustrating young quarterbacks with whatever looks they're going to give him. So yes, I do like the Patriots. Yes. Brian Irwin, morning Matt. Officially 150 days straight of watching Morning Scone. Currently in nursing shop grinding. Slowly wearing in me mentally. Keep me in y'all spirits. What's nursing shop? I'm curious. What's nursing shop? But thank you for watching, Brian. That's awesome, man. Thank you for being here. Jordan Malazzo, Scone, play weatherman for us, out of staters. How bad has the rain been? Still supposed to be gone by midday. Yeah, man. So it's raining right now. Not storming, but it's raining. It looked like there was some squall, like a squall line that was coming through, and then it was supposed to dissipate by like mid-afternoon. So maybe like a stray drizzle this evening, but it should be fine during the game. And I want to remind y'all also, do you remember after 2019, whenever they dug up the whole field? I remember they gave away sod from the field, if you remember, from 2019. They dug up the whole playing surface and they like dug deeper and lower to improve all the drainage and everything on the field. Well, in 2020, in the COVID year, they played Ole Miss in a torrential downpour, and the field held up great. So, and remember, Kayshawn had 300 receiving yards in the rain. So, I really, genuinely don't think the weather or the field conditions are going to be a problem today. Bill Gallion, did Brother Martin win? You said before you would sing the fight song if they made the playoffs. Bill, I never said I would sing the fight song if they made the playoffs. That is a bold-faced lie. You are making things up there, and I have no idea if Brother Martin won. Donald A. Me, Spurge, what's up? Keith H, what's good? Chance Babin, quasi-SEC semifinal day. It's true. Look, Chance, if the greatest thing about this for LSU is if LSU wins today, and not that you'd be thinking about this, but all you have to do is split Arkansas and A&M to win the West. Because Bama's lost to Tennessee, and then if Bama loses here, they'd have 2 losses. Your only loss right now is Tennessee. So if you beat Bama, all you have to do is split Arkansas, A&M, and you win the West. So, well, that's provided Ole Miss loses another game. I should throw out that caveat. But anyway. Oops. Sorry, I lost my spot there. Scooter Rushing, good morning. Game day. Cade Kepper, feels like the national media is viewing LSU from their season-long resume, whereas local media views LSU as what they've done the past 2 games. I guess the truth somewhere in the middle. I don't know, Cade. I did a lot of interviews this week, man. A lot. And I think LSU got everybody's attention the last 2 weeks. I mean, it's why they're ranked where they are, and it's why there's as much interest in this game. And everyone, all of the interviews that I did, it was basically, how did they turn it around from what they were, against Florida State to what they are now? Like, how they do it so quickly. Quentin Breakbill, good morning. Kerry Hughes, did we ever get a donkey shirt from that Whiskey and Wine? We did, Kerry. Somebody sent me a Here Comes 60 Straight Up Your Donkey shirt. Robbie White, good morning. So Denbrock faced Saban and Golding less than a year ago. Does that favor one side more than the other? Robbie, it's a good question. Someone actually asked that earlier this week here on Morning Scone. Because, of course, Denbrock was the OC at Cincinnati when they played Bama in the playoff last year. Maybe, and look, I do tend to ask those questions in press conferences when I get the opportunity. Like I asked Brian Kelly about facing Kiffin back in the USC days. Now, it's been 10 years, but we talked to him about facing Saban in the playoff 2 years ago. But I think coaches tend to downplay it, but I think it's got to matter a little, whenever. It's almost like, I would tell you, Robbie, it's almost like in the I'd hate to draw NFL and college comparisons, but it's like in the NFL when you play someone in your own division every year, right? Or I guess in the SEC, like if you're in the West, you're going to play someone every year, and I know I've told this story before, but when Houston Nutt, you got fired at Arkansas in 07, and then Ole Miss hired him in 08. And I remember interviewing him when he got hired at Ole Miss. And I asked him why he would want to be in the SEC West again. It's like, you realize how hard this is, whatever. And he said, oh, geez. And he said, sorry. And part of his answer was that he's already got a scouting report on every team in the league. So they thought that transition would go more smoothly because he knew the coaches and the players. A lot of them he had recruited, played against and all. So I think there maybe is something to it. How much, I don't know, but I think there's something to it. Dustin Bolello, good morning. Steve Colson was good, man. 40 disrupts Young. House versus O'Brien. Advantage House. Kelly beat Saban first try. LSU 37-34. Man, your keyboard to God's ears, man. I think it could be that type of game. I think it would have to be. LSU would have to score like that. Keith Artis, morning Scone. Do you think T-Bob washes his hands after his morning pee? No chance. Literally zero chance. Lance Richard, morning Matt. Normally I wake up with a bad gut feeling on Bama game day, but today, for some reason, feeling very optimistic about our chances. Jonathan O'Neill, good morning. Headed to the Marine Corps ball tonight. You'll never guess what time it is. Yep, 6 o'clock. Bummer. Jonathan O'Neill, that's not as bad as Hunt Palmer going to a wedding tonight at 6:30. I, for the life of me, cannot understand why Hunt is going to this. So if you miss it, so Hunt is going to a game tonight. God, look at Herbstreit just sitting in the rain. Hunt's going to a game tonight. Only Desmond's got the umbrella. Hunt's going to a wedding tonight at 6:30 in New Orleans for his cousin. He's not even in the wedding. He's just going to the wedding. I love all my relatives. I've got a great family. I'm fortunate to have a great family. There is literally a 0% chance I would be attending a wedding for my cousin if it was during the LSU-Alabama game. The complete lack of self-awareness in scheduling that game during the LSU-Alabama game is, or scheduling it on that date when you know LSU is going to play Alabama is, man. And look, that's cool. You don't care about the game and you want to schedule your wedding in football season because that's what you want to do. God bless. It's your day. But you can't be pissed if people no-show or are only into the game and not your wedding. So, but there is no shot I would be there. None. Zero. Mitchell Prime. Matt, when's the last time you were in Tiger Stadium for a big game? Really didn't play many of them in 2017. The comeback against Auburn in 2017, unless there's something I'm forgetting. 2016 Bama, the 10-0 game. Been a minute, man. I've been to a game in the stadium since 2017, y'all. That was the last season I went to the stadium. We started doing whiskey and wine on location, and what really started was pregame. I started doing pregame in 2018. And pregame went straight up to kickoff. And so it just wasn't worth it for me to leave studio at kickoff, get to campus, park, get in the stadium. I missed the whole first quarter by the time I got into the press box. And then, I have to leave halftime, middle, third quarter to get wherever I was going for whiskey and wine. So, yeah, man, been a minute since I've been to a game in the stadium. I'm bummed too, man. We were offered tickets. Erica's going tonight. We got offered tickets, and so she's going to go with her sister and brother-in-law. Todd Harris, Kelly Presley, Ron Wisnant, 34-28. Mark Bork, good morning. Todd Harris, LSU slow starts worry me. Hard to come back on Bama. Skip, what's good? Tony Williams, Paul Batts, good morning. Kirk Taylor, Tony Williams. Bubba Smith, Scotty Nero, good morning. How's the weather in BR? It's just a little rainy, but I think it's going to be okay for the game tonight, man. David Jenkins, have a good feeling. Brian Kelly and the boys get it done today, 35-31. Patrick McKenzie, morning, Matt, win or lose, I'm ready for whiskey and wine tonight. Okay. It's going to be a good time, man. We're going to have fun either way tonight. Michael Cook, good morning. Tony, my opinion, it's not a rebuilding year and more of finding the right pieces and the right positions quickly. Tony, well, that is part of rebuilding, right? But they did have to rebuild the roster, and this I don't think is a roster that's ready to compete for a national championship. And I'm curious tonight if we find out if this roster is ready to compete for an SEC championship. They played one elite team this year and got blown out by Tennessee, and they're going to play another elite team tonight. So we'll see how much they've closed that gap, or maybe even how much of a gap there is between Tennessee, Bama, LSU. So. Kirk said, coaching staff, who has the edge? I mean, I'm always going to give the edge to Nick Saban. But I said, if you think the game comes down to special teams, who wins? Good question, because Bama special teams have not been special this year. And, boy, it's so interesting because Will Reichert had been at points of his career really good, and he has not been this year. So I think it's a little bit of a hold your breath for both teams if it comes down to that. Smash that like button if you would, YouTube. Please subscribe up to the Matt Scone channel. Facebook, please like the page, share the post. It's always brought to you by Brock. Remember, the After Hours Clinic is open nights and weekends. So as an alternative to the ER, you can get over to Brock. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Hudco is pinned in the chat, so I would love it if you would take a quick second, click that link, fill out the contact form, let us come do a free, no-obligation roofing inspection. And Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. If you have pain, book a session with Crystal Poche, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. Cliff Nelson, never forget Bama LSU 2019 was at walk-on San Antonio. It was nuts. Bama fans were the worst losers. The level up man, if LSU wins today and Bama beats Ole Miss next week, LSU can lose one of their last two. Yeah, went through that, yeah. Damon Gilmore, Wendell Norman, Brian Robert. What did Phil say about LSU Bama? Liked LSU in the points. Gave him a shot at the upset. Didn't pick the outright winner, but liked LSU in the points. That was his play. Brad David, yesterday during your interview on AFR, you said something about Nick Saban falling into lake years ago. Can you explain that story? Yeah, so you go read Ross Dellinger's piece at SI.com. But Nick fell. He was there with the Lemoynes, the construction company. They're good family friends. And Nick slipped, hit his head, and fell into the water. And what's Lemoyne's first name? Lemoyne heard it and ran and looked and Nick was submerged in the water unconscious. And he pulled him out. And Nick had a big gash in his head, like behind his ear, and had to get stitches and all. That's why he started wearing the straw hat, was because the doctor told him, look, man, if this gets too much sun exposure, that will be a gnarly scar. So that's why he had to wear the big straw hat. That's how that started. So I knew about the fall at Lake Burton. I didn't know that's why he started. Oh no. Watching game day, this video of a tractor running into the goalpost, accidentally running the goalpost at a high school field, knocking the goalpost down. Oh man. Oh. Oh man. All right, Justin Clement, good morning. How about St. Charles last night? What did they do? I'm not sure. Philip Spence, I hate Notre Dame, but definitely pulling for them over Clemson. Okay. Reed Rule, I'm indifferent about that. I'm going to win the game. I want to win the bet. Reed Rule, happy game day, Scone. 11-year anniversary of the 9-6 game. Yep. Cool to see how drastic offenses have changed. Yep, that was November the 5th, game of the century. Brian Robert, Zion Windmill was insane. Kenneth Polk, morning, Matt. I'll cheer for you since you have to take notes today. Thank you, Kenneth. Let's see. Go Tigers from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Migo Tez, why they rank him so lowly among the 24 class? Do they need to keep evaluating? Yeah, because he reclassified. If you're talking about the quarterback, he was supposed to be a 2025 guy, so he's only playing his sophomore year right now. So you have to wait at least a whole another season of ball to get a real evaluation. Spencer Beckley, Joey Medke, Big Nasty Tiger 417. If LSU is able to get commitment from the Ricks kid, would that put LSU to the #1 recruit class? I have no idea. James Southern, morning, Matt. If Jaden goes out with an injury, possibility to play Walker if it's a close game. I don't think so. Danny Armstead, very present. Merritt Bethurn, how do you graduate a year early from high school? Some schools allow it. You can load up on classes, and if you get enough course credits, you can graduate early. That's how guys do it when they're early enrollees in the spring. Like if you see that all the time, where guys graduate high school a semester early. They just load up on classes and graduate in after the fall semester, and so then they enroll in the spring semester in college, and so they can go through spring football. It's just you're coming in even one semester even prior. Brian, Matt, no, it'd be awesome if LSU and Tulane wound up playing each other in the New Year's Six game. I don't want to see that. I mean, it wouldn't be competitive. I mean, I get it for the Louisiana angle. I just don't care. Nick Dubison, currently customizing action figures and listening to you yap. Well, waiting on games to start. Well, thank you, Nick. Appreciate that. Cliff Nelson, it's not raining. It's just a stiff dew. Les Miles. I've never understood the "it never rains in Tiger Stadium" thing. I mean, I know it's like it's a fable that's gone on forever, and people tell the story never. But like, I just think that's kind of stupid. Honestly, that's one LSU thing that people like grab hold of that I just think is really stupid. Like, of course it rains in Tiger Stadium. It rains all the time in Tiger Stadium. Like, I've gotten drenched in that stadium. It rains all the time. I mean, it's so stupid. Anyway. Grain Train, LSU beats Bama, Bama beats Ole Miss. Okay. Would Traquan Smith start at LSU? Good question, Danny Armstead. Dalton Barnett, morning, Matty. Should be a national holiday. Tennessee and Georgia can have this year, but we know LSU Bama is best of the best college football has to offer. Hey, bud! You want to come say hi to that show? Come see. Come here. Let me get my hands on you.
Not for that show.
Come here. Let me get my hands on you.
Not for that show.
Well, after Dad's show, we get dressed and go for our Dad's car.
Today.
So Dad's working right the elevator. Okay.
Not for Dad's work.
Okay.
Not for Dad's work.
And after Dad's work, we'll come to Drew's house. All right. You want to say good morning?
Good morning.
Oh, that was a very sweet good morning. I love you. Did you sleep so good last night?
Yes.
Good. Good. Let's see. Oh, it's Saturday. Who plays football today?
Football.
Who plays football today?
Go Tiger.
Go Tigers. Do you want to sing?
No.
You want to sing our Mike the Tiger song?
No.
1, 2, 3. Hey. Fighting. You do it. 1, 2, 3.
No.
Oh, it's Bama Day. Oh, no. It's Bama Day. Oh. What?
Louder, Pete.
Louder?
Louder and so good. Hips was. Up next, hips was. Yes.
Okay, louder. Okay.
Move it.
Move it. Okay.
Move.
Okay. Oh, man. Couldn't get him to sing today, y'all. He just wanted the iPad louder because he watches these, like, kids' workout videos where they're like, jumping jacks, touch your toes. It's like he does none of it. He just watches. Oh, man. Logan Mathern, what's up? Kirk, Army, Air Force this morning, biggest game of the day. I'll tell you what, Kirk, what I'll tell you is the under usually hits in the Commander-in-Chief trophy game. So Army, Navy, Army, Air Force, all the Air Force, Navy, like the under generally hits in those. So if you're looking for a play. Craig Dugas, boot up ball, we ride. Jeff McKithen, Trey Potan, good morning. Charlie Gale, what's up? Does LSU have a fast start tonight? Probably not, but again, I've gone over that this week. I think the slow start thing is a bit overstated. I think we've assumed that the defense has really struggled for a half, made halftime adjustments, and then gotten better in the second half. That's actually not been the case. The defense has actually been really good in first halves. The offense before the Florida game was the one that had struggled to get going. So really, that's what you need is LSU offensively to get going. Eric Stokes, if we win, how far under the whiskey and wine before T-Bob shuts up and lets you get a word in? Oh, it's a good question. He'll do his loud yelling thing. He'll make the whole bar probably chant like F you Bama or something like that. Several minutes. It'll be several minutes before I get to talk. Yeah, for sure. Thoughts on the Saints wearing all black every game? I hate it. Todd Harris, what's up? Scott Beckham, good morning. Tony Williams. Teddy Safi, LSU Tennessee SEC Championship. Drew is so big, he's got a great heart. Thank you, man. Drew's saving up for game time, too early to sing. Bubba Tatum, good morning. Sam Merrifield, what's your take on Michael Thomas and his status? Yeah, man. I think the guy's body is breaking down on him. I think giving him the contract was completely justified. You signed him to the long-term deal after year 3, before his final year. And in the first year of his contract, he justified that deal by setting the NFL record for catches in a season and becoming the NFL Offensive Player of the Year. And he just had injuries, man. So unfortunately, it happens. You giving him the contract was warranted. It just hasn't worked. I think I will be surprised. I will be surprised if they cut him before next season. Given his dead cap hit at 25, you could cut him because his cap hit is 28, but the dead number is 25. So you could cut him and save $3 million against the cap, or you could hope to have a healthy Michael Thomas next year for a full season and maybe maximize him and then move on. A best case would be he agrees to tear up that deal and do something a little more team friendly. And if he does not do that, I don't blame him. He does not have to. He has a contract, and he is owed the money in his contract. But he's been paid a lot of money to not play for 3 years, and if he wants to be here and wants to win, he'll have a decision to make. Adrian Smith, what happens if the game can't be played due to weather? They stop it. They'd have to reschedule, right? No, they're going to play the game. Kelly Presley, I hope Cliff is right. What cookies are you having with coffee tomorrow? Erica they're already made. She has lemon cookies. And she also made something new. It's like a Rolo cup. It's a Rolo baked into a little mini chocolate chip cookie. Yes, so we ready. We ready already. Head to the game from Alabama. All right, Trent Domingue. Elliot Doge. Good morning. Gonna drink enough old fashions to float a boat if we win. Paul Losi, Kevin Langlanay, what's up? Morning Scone, take on Which team benefits the field condition? So, and Brownies with the M&M top were amazing. I don't think the weather conditions make an impact on the game at all. For those just joining, I mentioned this a little bit ago. First of all, it looks like the weather is going to clear out by mid-afternoon, so it doesn't look like it's going to be raining for the game at all. And I think the field conditions are going to be really good. I'll remind you, I'd said this a bit earlier in the show. For those that maybe missed it then, I'll say it again. Remember, after the 2019 season, LSU ripped up the playing surface. Remember, because they gave away the sod to everybody who wanted it. And they dug out the entire playing surface and redid all the drainage underneath. Remember, they like lowered the field LSU's the playing surface at Tiger Stadium has always been awful for a couple of reasons. One reason is, and this is weird, but it's true. One reason is proximity to the river. Apparently, there's all like the river silt and everything under the playing surface, so it's like the moisture and all that sort of stuff is bad. And then two, as they continue to expand with the upper decks all around, the playing surface doesn't get enough direct sunlight every day. So the surface is just a bad surface. Like it's just not, it's not been good. Well, when they redid the playing surface, they made some modifications and they improved the drainage the way they did it to where the field drains exceptionally well. And the example I gave you was the first year on the new surface was the Ole Miss game in 2020 when Kayshawn had 300 receiving yards. And that was in a monsoon. So I really genuinely don't think the weather matters at all. Because I don't think it's going to affect the playing surface, and it's supposed to not be raining during the game anyway. So, Gregory Gordy, scooter rushing. Let's see. Reed Rule, in-laws aren't big-time college fans. They were confused why his emphatic wedding had to be on a bye week during the 2019. Yeah, Reed, like, I'm not good with that either. Like, my brother got married on a bye week, and I was pissed at him, like, because it was my one-off day, and I wanted to just sit at home and watch games, and instead I had to go to Lafayette for his wedding. I love my brother, and I love my sister-in-law, and they're wonderful, and, of course, I was in the wedding and all that stuff, but I remember my mom telling me, like, Matt, you got to realize not everybody loves college football like you do. I'm like, that's fine, and they don't have to love college football like that. But inevitably, like, all of your guests do. So you can't be pissed. Like, you can't be pissed if people either don't come or the only thing they're interested in doing at your wedding is or in your reception is watch football. So, I mean, it's your day. You can do what you want, but, you know. I saw Jaden Daniels, Bryce Young have darn near the same stats this year. Does it matter at all? No, remember Brennan, I think it's Brennan Lorkey. Bryce Young didn't play against A&M, so he's got one fewer game. And did play half against Arkansas. He's got a game and a half less than Jaden. Brown Bear 765, morning Scone. Purposely had our wedding last weekend because of the bye. Again, congratulations on your wedding. But yeah, I'm not okay with bye week weddings either. There are 8 other months of the year when you can get married. So whatever. What's E-Rock cooking for the game night? She's going to the game. Bill Galling. Hudco cheerleaders. Okay, yes. Here we go.
Hudco roofing. When you need a roof, call someone you know. My Scone, Ontario.
All you need is Hudco.
Call Hudco roofing.
364.
1007.
HudcoRoofing.com. And remember, your anniversary is eventually going to end up on a game day, so you're screwing yourself if you get married in the fall. Matt, if LSU wins, you ought to turn the table on T-Bob, break a chair on him, beat down, etc. That would actually be funny. Mike the Tiger, Florida's daddy. Uncle Who Dad, what's up, Matt? You know what I need is get a taser. Let's get a taser. Like if he hits me, just be like, bzz, just tase him right there on the show. That'd be awesome. Uncle Who Dat, what's up, Matt? All I want this weekend is LSU Tigers win and the Saints win. Go Tigers. Who Dat? Russell Doloff, good morning from rainy Tiger Stadium. Okay, Russell. Yeah, thank you, Bill. Smash that like button. 171 watching, only 57 likes. Come on, y'all. YouTube, do me a solid. Smash that like button. Come on, man. If you're on YouTube, if you're watching on your phone, X out of the live chat. You'll see where it's the live. Just X out of the live chat. You'll see the little bar come up. Hit the thumbs up. Then just tap live chat again. Boom. Here comes the comments again. DA, Matt, when did the Saints start taking a look at the artificial turf? I don't think they're going to. I've never heard. I mean, artificial turf is more cost effective. You have a one-time cost to install, and then you basically just have to buy a machine to vacuum it and brush it and all. But I think you are seeing a lot of schools who had artificial surfaces come back to Ole Miss is a great example. Ole Miss had an artificial surface. They've installed grass at Vaught Hemingway. So, but then interestingly enough, schools in the most, like Notre Dame's got an artificial surface now, which I never thought I would see. Michigan's got an artificial surface. Ohio State's got an artificial surface. So, I guess in places where you got to deal with weather a lot, that makes sense. I'm not opposed to it. I've never heard anyone at LSU talk about doing that. Damon Gilmore, have you heard anything about A&M having 20 plus with the flu? I have not heard that. Did Sean Payton become a secret coach for the Saints before the Raiders game? I hope he counseled them and said, hey, why don't you look at this and listen to this? I hope so. Which is not illegal, by the way. You can have as many people on staff as you want in the NFL. Carter DeLong, of course, the Pels play at 6:30 tonight. Yeah, they're at Atlanta. I'll check the score after. There's no chance I watch a millisecond of that game. Priorities. Andrea Sala, Chance Babb, and Brian Kelly said they found a way to get Perkins and Bidgie on the field. They did last week. I mean, Chance, they did that last week against Ole Miss. They had a lot of really interesting odd fronts. I mean, you saw Mekhi Wingo at left end with the beef in the middle with Ojulari standing up and Perkins at Jack. You know, saw Ojulari and Perkins at either end. I mean, they did it against Ole Miss. Andrew, I'm wearing cleats to the game tonight so I don't slip when we storm the field. It's so stupid. Zandel Moore, what's up? Justin Claymore, Matt, do you think these quarterback commits were getting mean anything? Absolutely. No, listen, Justin, you cannot recruit out of fear of someone leaving in the portal. You have got to sign a quarterback in every class. The great lesson of that was 2008 when LSU, when Ryan Perrilloux got booted, and you had skipped the class in the recruiting cycle because you had Perrilloux and he didn't want any competition. And so you abided by that to get him here. You skipped a recruiting class. You had to go get Andrew Hatch from Harvard. And then you had redshirt freshman Jarrett Lee. That's the lesson. You never skip a class in a recruiting cycle. And Ed made that mistake in 2018 as well. Now, he was just the luckiest human alive that in a year where he screwed up and didn't sign a quarterback, they had to go hit the transfer portal, and there was Joe Burrow, who ended up being the greatest player in the history of the program. Like, you do not skip a recruiting cycle with a quarterback ever. You sign a quarterback every year without exception. And if someone wants to leave, that's on them. Like, it's going to happen. Like, in this day and age, quarterbacks don't stay. Like, you just don't see dudes wait 4 or 5 years for their opportunity to play. So if you do, that's a 1 in a million, man. So look, Walker Howard's not going anywhere. Of that, I am convinced. You don't go, we can't sign a quarterback. What if this guy? Who cares? Like, if that guy's going to leave, then anything could have caused him to leave anyway. You can't put your program and your depth at the most important position in jeopardy out of fear that someone might leave. Can't do it. You got to sign a quarterback every class. Kenneth Polk, Elite Goods, what's going on? Danny Armstead. What do you think about the new transfer portal rules? Having windows, it's fine. Philip Spence, Scone gets stoned by True, LOL. Kids do what kids want. No singing today. I know. There you go. Damon Gilmore. Service Academy unders are 42, 9, and 1 or something like that. Hang on one second. Drew's back next week. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. All right. What else we got, y'all? What else we got? We winding it down. Need a realtor. Call my dude, Darren James. Simply the best. Awesome human. Better. Awesome realtor, better human. Spurge, I'll take the over on Matt getting a word in shy of 5 minutes. 4:45. All right, let's see. Any more? Walter Rushing, who I love Rolos. Charlie H. at Storming and Metairie. Shot collar for T-Bob, not a bad idea. Landon Miller drove from Houston for the game. All right. Danny Armstead, how do you decide who you want to interview for LSU football segments? It depends, Danny. I mean, I like having our appointment listening. So on Monday we talked to Cole Kublik at 4:15. On Tuesday we talked to Sean Salisbury at 5. On Wednesday we talked to Russ Mitchell at 5:15. On Thursday we have Mike Triplett at 5:15. So some of that stuff is appointment listening, and you do that to create that familiarity for your audience so they know, oh, it's Tuesday at 5, Sean Salisbury's on. You create appointments with your audience. So even if you don't happen to be listening, you go, oh, I want to hear that. So other than that, I mean, it kind of just becomes, is there something I see that's interesting to talk about and who would be good to talk about it? If you ever have ideas, let me know. Alex, is Major Burns playing tonight? He is, yes. He's healthy and in the game plan. Time is 9:53. Phillips Clinton, what's going on? Cosmos Zuna, what's up, Matt? Think this is a game K-Shot could show out. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Bama does with Elias Ricks. If they play him in the slot, if K-Shot moves in the slot, or if LSU moves K-Shot into the slot like they've been doing to get him favorable matchups. I see Kyle Milliken said, I believe most NFL and large colleges are going away from turf because of the high propensity of injuries players sustain. So, Kyle, there's actually been a ton of studies, and there is no discernible difference between artificial turf and natural grass injuries. I've actually looked that up. They've done 10-year extensive studies, and it is a very marginal, almost irrelevant difference. Spencer Beckley, sweet potato capital of the world, Vardaman, Mississippi. Okay. Charlie H, excited for the game. Bama money line. By the way, chat never bet on T-Bob's bets on FD chat. Charlie, you have to transcribe that for me, dude. I don't know what you mean. Or translate that. I don't know what you mean. Apollo Balboa, what's going on? You don't give Saban 2 weeks to prepare? Well, he gets 2 weeks to prepare every year for this game. Can Mason Taylor be as good as Bowers? Well, Bowers was better as a freshman than Mason Taylor is as a freshman, so probably not. A little different build, but that's not to say he can't be fantastic. Are you getting wireless earbuds? I have them, Mike the Tiger, Florida's daddy. I have AirPods. The problem is every time I wear my AirPods on an interview, they falter. Like literally 100% of the time, they disconnect. It's maddening. I love the concept of AirPods, of wireless headphones, but they fail all the time. I mean, when I say 100% of the time, when I do an interview with somebody, because a lot of times when I do, people want to do videos now. It's not just radio calls. Like they want to do a video component to an interview. They want you on Zoom or StreamYard or whatever. So every time I've done that with my AirPods, 100% of the time my AirPods fail. They disconnect from my phone. Spurge Hudko had on Jordy's table this morning. Yeah, Jordy is doing some sales for Hudko. So yeah, man. I know he's pushing a lot of commercial stuff as well, but yeah, for sure, man. Had that convo with Terrio months and months ago. He was like, who should we talk to? Blah, blah. I was like, go talk to Jordy, bro. go talk to Colada. Colada's the guy that will sell, a ketchup popsicle to an Eskimo with white gloves. Is that how it goes? No, sell ice to an Eskimo. That's it. Sell ketchup to a lady in white gloves. That's it. River Reese, we need a player from our secondary to have a great game. What player will have the biggest impact? Jay Ward or Greg Brooks. Cliff Nelson, FYI, lemon cookies and coffee on Sunday, still undefeated. Appreciate whoever brought that up earlier for memory. That was Kelly Presley. Danny Armstead, Swagoo and RC, the best. Tyrann Mathieu or Joe Burrow would be great guests too. So it's harder to get the guys that are playing because their game weeks and their preparation, like the only day, like they have Mondays off generally. So, no, I'm sorry, I think Tuesday's the NFL off day. But it's very hard to get guys while they're playing unless you get them in their bye week. But then sometimes in the bye week, they don't want to do anything related to anything. So you got to get it. But yeah, RC's awesome. Love having him on. And when we get Swagoo, love having him too, man. Been a while since we've had Swagoo. Philip McCrack. Oh, come on. That's okay. Bama fan here. Have y'all seen much of the Tigers this year? Haven't seen much of the Tigers. Who's your biggest offensive threat today? Quarterback, Jaden Daniels, number 5, is best player. So, Philip. I get it, Philip. I get it. I like the chef from LSU, forget his name. Michael Johnson. That's the chef at LSU's ops building. Hester and T-Bob talk to him weekly. That's probably what you're talking about. Kerry Moe, good morning. Bill Gallion, Ask E-Rock is a cool segment, but people ask creepy questions. Josh Blackman, good morning. I got that snip yesterday. Today makes for a good day to sit on the couch with a bag of peas, drink in my hand, watch college football. Okay. Bill, I do that every Saturday. You don't have to get snipped. The bag of peas on your crotch is the concerning part of that, Bill. All right, Dick. Danny Armstead, everything about doing call-in guests like fun. You mean like when the audience calls in? No, I don't, Danny, ever. Like, we'll never do that ever. It's if you are a caller-driven show, you are by definition a lazy radio host. That you are lazy. It's because you do not want to show prep and actually come up with content. And I'll tell you this, Danny. This is and this is proven also just in metrics forever and ever and ever. Caller-driven radio does not do numbers. Because only 2% of your audience will ever call. That doesn't mean we'll call regularly. It means only 2% will ever pick up the phone and call. I am far more interested in the 98% that will never call, delivering a product for them that they want to listen to and will listen to with TSL, which is time spent listening for a long time, and all, than the feelings of the 2% that want their voice heard when they have really nothing to say except cliched drivel and BS. So, no, I don't want your fake name on my radio show spouting whatever you think is meaningful. And I'll tell you this too. Never, I mean, I can't tell you ever a time where I was listening to a radio show where someone called in and I thought to myself, man, that's great stuff. I never considered that. What a fascinating, truly unique point of view. I mean, I spent all day to put a show together for that purpose. I don't need someone to call into my show and make the show for me. And here come spam bots. There we go. Anyway, so, no, and I'll tell you this, Danny, too. When we launched 104.5 ESPN, all the stations in Baton Rouge were caller-driven radio. Gordy and I had the convo, like, we will never be a caller-driven radio. Like, that was part of launching 104.5 ESPN. It's like, we will do a professional-sounding sports talk station. We will never be caller-driven. So, yeah, so we killed caller-driven shows. So, you asked about Feinbaum, and Feinbaum's done great. But, you know, Feinbaum is a one-off. He's an exception. And you don't watch or listen to the callers for any interesting point of view. You're watching for the train wreck. You want the hillbilly that's going to go off the rails and say he poisoned a tree, right? I mean, that's what you listen for. And that's not the show that I'll ever do. Fish bucket. I turn down the volume anytime someone calls in. Bingo. Trivia. Hey man, you were slow on a draw, bro. Jeff, what's good, dude? Hey Jeff, you coming in town next week for the 11 a.m. game? We meeting up at Don Juan again at 11. Don Juan, by the way, will be open at 11 a.m. next Saturday for Arkansas. If you want to go watch the game there, you can. Right. Kurt, thank you. Weather came in strong. Call HUDCO. Let us come do that inspection, man. I'll tell you this. One of the things about roof inspections that I've learned so often, you think, oh, look, it rained. I'm good. What you don't know is you may have a shingle, even if it's one shingle, that has been lifted due to wind. And so every time it rains, you get drip, 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 drip. And you may never notice it, but you could have drip, drip, drip in your attic to your insulation, onto your floorboards that eventually comes to your ceiling and your sheetrock. And I'm telling you, you don't notice it until you have a water spot on your ceiling. It's why, man, you should always, always, always get a roof inspection. It's free. It's literally free. It's free. You don't even have to be home. You just okay a roof inspector to come to your house, get up on the roof, and walk it to see if there's damage. And if there is, cool, we'll file an insurance claim. And we'll do everything. If not, great, your roof's in good shape. Talk to you in 5 years. You know what I mean? Anyway, HUDCO Roofing, HUDCORoofing.com. All right, we're done. I got to get dressed, got to get in my dad's work, got to go ride elevators so we can get home, watch some 11 o'clock games. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom, ready for it, football. Shout out to Brock as always, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, HUDCO Roofing, HUDCORoofing.com. Restored Motions and RestoredMotions.com. If you got pain, book a session with Crystal Poche. Restored Motions, RestoredMotions.com. Let's go Tigers. Let's beat Bama. Let's have an epic day. Whiskey and wine tonight as soon as the game goes final. Oh, I got 45 seconds till we hit an hour on the show. So I'm just going to keep, you know what I'm going to do? Danny Orm said, would you accept an LSU job that Kelly offered you? Depends what job. Like, what job would they offer me? Gregory Gordy, have a great day. I'm just filibustering now till we get to 10 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 hour. Appreciate y'all for being here. Go Tigers, beat Bama. About to talk about it on game day right now. We'll see you. Peace.